Hello and welcome to the Footballco Business Podcast. I'm your host Alex Manby, and today I'm talking to Luca Danovaro, Chief Marketing Officer at Inter Milan. Luca has recently overseen a revamp of the club's visual identity, which includes a modernization of the crest and the launch of the I Am Inter brand, extending beyond football into the club's partnerships in the world of fashion, music, and more. Luca, welcome to the show.
Hi, Alex.
The Inter brand and crest are iconic. Why did they need to be changed?
I'm a marketeer. So when I joined Inter, they asked me to do something that go behind the traditional marketing. Plus, I like to talk a journey. Like a brand need to grow and need to project itself in the future. So that was our journey. Started 4 years ago, and the main objective was try to position Inter more than a football club. Something that is behind football. Inter for us need to win on pitch, but they need to inspire people when we talk about lifestyle, when we talk about digital, because we strongly believe we are an entertaining company. So to do that, this is a nice vision, a nice PowerPoint, but you need to do milestones step by step. You need to grow inside the company. And that's what we have done in the last 4 years. So we started with the brand DNA. So we want to, reshape the values and attitude of the club. So our values are always, the same. They were very, we respect a lot our tradition, and it's very important on that. But we try to discuss to represent the value as supposed to be for the new generation. So that was our first milestone. Second one was try to position the club with a different tone of voice. So we invest a lot on people, on infrastructure, to create what we call internally media house. So we create like a great group of people that every single day they try to communicate, entertain our fans, and more than our fans in a different way. Try to find something new, something creative. For example, during the summer when we had all the transfer market, we try to communicate at 6 a.m. every morning, so the people start to get in touch and engage with us early in the morning because they want to see what's news if we bought the new players. But every day was some different things, something new, but not a new players every single day at 6 o'clock in the morning. But that is was the second milestone, the tone of voice. Third milestone was last year in April. It was honestly a key moment of our history as a club, because we had a new visual identity. We redesigned our brand and the new logo, new crest. We unveiled the crest in April, and it was we call internally a new beginning, because the new visual identity just started last April, but every month we release something new, because it's a journey, as I said at the beginning, and the club need to improve our capacity to entertain and to inspire different people on different business. And then the new crest, of course, has the main objective to create a new merchandising journey. So be ready for new digital ecosystem, be ready for a new kind of fans consumer, and more than that, also try to bond with Milan, bond with our city, and we are creating different iconic collaboration as well.
Tell me a little bit about the process of designing the crest. Who was involved in that? And when you first sat down and you started talking about this necessity, or at least opportunity, to create a new crest, what were the non-negotiable elements that you knew had to be part of it?
I can tell you that, Alex, it was a very challenge for me and my team when uh, when we sit down the first time with our owner that asked us to redesign the crest. It's I think it was a honor, but it was also a big challenge, a lot of pressure because the crest represent millions of fans, and for those millions of fans, the crest represent emotion. So we we manage carefully. We manage. We try to find the right partner for us, and we found a partner with Mirko Bosch Studio, Buro Bosch Studio. Sorry, Mirko is the leader of the studio, and he was a great combination of experience between us and them because Mirko represent where we want to go. So represent technology, digital lifestyle, modernization of a brand. We represent Inter. We represent a tradition. So when we sit down with them in the first meeting, we just say we need to have a good mix. The good mix is respect the tradition, but project Inter and project our new crest in the future.
The tradition is clearly important. I mean, tradition is hugely important to all football fans, and certainly something that strikes me with the Inter crest is that over the years, the 113 years of Inter's history, there have been various iterations in this evolution of the crest, and yet it keeps coming back to the original 1908 Giorgio Muggiani design. What is it about that crest which is so special?
Well, the first crest was iconic. I like to define in this way, and we had like a big inspiration from that crest because if you consider the new one is more or less the 90% the same of the old one. So he was iconic for us as Inter, but was iconic also for our studio, Buro Bosch, because I think at that time it was already modern in terms of colors and in terms of design. The minimalism I think was very important that time and is extremely important right now. So if you compare the two logo, you see that we decided to make it more simple. So we removed two letters, the F and C, and we maintain the two elements that we think are our uniqueness, International and Milan. International because International is our name, is our history, and it's our attitude. And Milan is our city. We want to bond with our city. We want to represent our city and the values of the city around the world, like values of design, value of lifestyle. So we thought those two elements for us are the two elements that represent us and have to be represented in the new crest. We abandoned the two letters FC because we thought everybody know that we are a football club, because I think Inter is and will be a football club. And we thought that the iconic element, the circle that was designed the first time, we maintain it because that represents us as a football team. That is a symbol that we are a football team. Doesn't matter, you'll see the logo. The logo could be in an iconic products on a catwalk without seeing our jersey, but I think people recognize that represent a football team. That was for us very important, So we maintained the circle elements. We maintained 2 out of 4 letters from the old crest, and we decided to, of course, maintain the 2 colors. Inter is black and blue since the beginning, but we changed a little bit the blue. The blue is more bright, it's more digital, more more easy to read and understood on digital devices.
I saw an interview with Mirko Bosch of Buro Bosch, as you mentioned, in which he talked about the importance of digital, the fact that this logo is no longer seen just on the shirt or on a large screen like a television. It's now probably more often than not seen on a small screen like a phone. Would you say it was a digital first branding exercise?
Yeah, digital for us is uh, is the platform where we see ourselves. You know, I said at the beginning, we want to inspire people, and we want to talk with a bigger audience around the world. And digital is the place where we can meet all our fans, and where we can meet people that are not interested in football, but maybe they are interested or they get curious of what we're doing. So the color was a key element. We had lots of debate. We done different trials to see what was working better on a mobile phone or on a screen. So it is extremely important. And I give you an example. When we unveiled the new crest for the first time, it was in April. And the first time the crest was on our fork kit on a digital environment. We unveil with our partners on a video games, and the kids were allowed to buy a new skin with a new logo on a game. So that's just represents what's the future. You know, like you can see lots of fashion brands create a specific capsule only for video games, because digital is the next step where every brand need to entertain and inspire consumers, fans. So that's where we want to be.
And the club's press release, I think, really highlighted that point. And I'll read, it says there was a desire to establish itself as an icon of culture as well as of sport. That's a pretty bold ambition. What does it mean?
Yeah, that's exactly. We think Inter is an icon in sport, in football. You know, we won lots of trophies, national, international. So everybody know us around the world because we are an iconic football club. Next step, next level now is to become part of a culture, part of design, lifestyle. You know, lots of brands talking about culture. What does it mean, culture? For us, let me say in this way. For us, is the way to entertain people outside football. So that's what we want to do. We want to see that our logo create emotion, represent something, represent an attitude outside football. So that's it's a big task, it's a big challenge, of course, but that's what we want to do. And I think at the moment in our journey, we are touching the right elements and we are doing the right things.
And that's the idea of I am Inter, right? We've talked a bit about the crest, but slightly less about I am Inter. And the idea is that that encapsulates everything about the brand of Inter Milan, be it lifestyle, entertainment, music, fashion. I've seen the partnership with Moncler. Is that right? Is that the purpose of I am Inter?
Exactly. It's I like to say it's an attitude. You know, if you have a specific attitude, like you want to achieve something, you perform yourself, you are consistent. You know, you can fail sometime, but you want to reach some level, then I call we're interisti. You know, you're part of us. If you love a specific world on design, on fashion, and the Moncler collaboration represent that, you part of us. You know, like you part of Inter. The Moncler collaboration. Let me spend a few words. It's very important for the entire business because when we met with Moncler, Moncler is a Milanese company. It's iconic company in their business. So we thought we bought something similar. We're both from Milan. We both have the same values. We believe on the same path for the future. Digital for both sides is very important. And we sit down and we decided to redesign the formal wear for players. So how the young generation is gonna be formal. Like my generation, all generation, the tie, the suits. It was very important. It was an element that represent people when they go in some specific environment to represent themselves as, let me say, like to represent in some specific, in Italian say salotto now, like in a specific world. So Moncler decided with us to redesign the way that the young generation have to be formal. And I think the result was a mix of tradition, a mix of modern key style for young generation. And for us, it represent like is a journey as well, because it's 3 years partnership with them, and we want to be part of our city. So we're gonna do different things during the Fashion Week of Milan, during the Design Week of Milan, because we want to involve people that leave our city, people that come from all around the world in Milan, and help us with Moncler to represent excellence, that could be football, could be lifestyle, could be design.
It ties in with various pieces of research which I've seen. In fact, many things that we've seen at Footballco in our work with brands and analyzing this new generation of fans who don't behave in other ways, and certainly shows that we shouldn't silo Gen Z, we shouldn't silo even millennials as being just football fans or just fashion fans or just music fans. There's this great overlap. Having said that, as Chief Marketing Officer, I'm sure you're very aware that while appealing to new fans is very important, not annoying the traditional fan base is equally important. It must have been sensitive. I'm sure there was a lot of preparation within Media House for the launch of this new visual identity. How nervous were you about fans' reaction, and how's it been in general?
Yeah, as you say, the balance is very important. And when, like in marketing, as a marketeer, we always analyze generation, age, attitude, what they're doing, what is working, is not working. So we thought that the mix of activities it's extremely important. For we were a bit, of course, we were a bit not afraid, concerned about the reaction of the traditional fans. Especially people that have, like older than 50. The old fans, because as I said before, the crest represent emotion. And change something, it's always cause another emotion. Could be positive or negative emotion, But I think we managed carefully, and the reaction was extremely positive, especially because the timing was perfect. We unveiled in April, and April was at the end of last season, so we were leading the Italian Serie A. We won the Italian championship after 11 years. So that was a positive motion linked to the new crest. So that was, let me say, the most important things, because timing when you change a crest is extremely important. Then, as you say, we do different things, like I mentioned before what we're doing for Gen Z, like we launch, for example, for the new crest, limited edition Air Force One with Nike, and of course it was extraordinary results. The feedback from sneakers lovers was fantastic. I mean, we didn't expect that. It was unbelievable. On the other hand, we managed to to represent the tradition and to maintain the link with the past with our legends. So we utilize our former players to um, to show to the fans, to the tradition fans, what does it mean Inter, what does it mean the new logo, and the fact that the new logo represents the same values is always Inter, and it will always be Inter. So that was just two examples that show you how we daily we try to create contents to entertain different audience. That is a very important things.
Well, congratulations for keeping the fans on side. It's something, particularly in the digital social age, that fans are never shy of voicing their opinion. They are vociferous. They can be angry. It's a tough job being a community manager, trying to talk about any wider changes in the club when on-field things aren't going so well. So, as you say, that must have meant a lot. But it's incredibly emotive, isn't it? Because
It's
one
yeah.
thing fans getting annoyed about what's happening on the pitch, bad results, they're angry with the players, they want new ownership, whatever it might be. It happens at different clubs. But the issue of the crest also is something visceral within them, that they feel it belongs to them, and the emotions run very strong around it.
Let me say the relationship with fans is extremely important. Inter fans are fantastic. They follow us all the time when we win or lose. And of course, sometimes, as you say, like with the social, in the social era, you can get criticism every single day. You can get opinions. But for us, it's important because we listen a lot. It's, like the fans for us are the key elements of the club. We have players, we have, of course, employees, colleagues, and we have fans. Fans are the main source of information for us to make things happen in a better way. So I spend hours to read fans' comments, to meet them, to talk to them at the stadium when we have a game. So it's important because, as I said at the beginning, we are an entertainment platform, and we want to entertain them. So to entertain them in a better way, we need to know them, and we need to understand what is working for them.
Yeah, I mean, in other cases, fans have been so indignant and unhappy about a new crest that the club has had to roll it back and change back the changes. So fortunately, that didn't happen here. I wanted to talk about this season's kits, because obviously the new brand was unveiled in March and April, as you say, and then this season's kits feel very bold, and they feel very ambitious. How involved were Nike in the planning and creation of those? I know that kits can be 1 year or 2 years in the making. So how did you mix the new kit with the new branding?
Well, Nike is our historical partner, and is on board with us on our journey. So we had, a great relationship with them, and then we plan everything very in advance. So a couple of years ago, we had lots of conversation with the Nike designer, and we explained them our vision. We explained them that we want to, once again, respect the tradition, but to be bold, to be new, to present something different. And the results, you see it. These years was everything linked about our skin. So we say this is the first season with the new crest. So is the new skin of Inter. The snake is our symbol. So we decided to work on these elements and represent the elements on the three jersey, especially in the first and the second one, the home and away case. And the market, the fans answer in a fantastic way. They love us. They love the way we do something different every single years. So this is like what we've done, these years, because the Bishone is a key element for us. Is not represented on the crest, but is still an extremely important for us. So you see on the jersey this year, and represent Milan and represent our city. It's a symbol of Milan. And then with Nike, we always discuss what is important, relevant for fans, and we strongly believe that sustainability is important. And the jersey these years is produced 99% with recycled plastic. So that for us was another key elements to project into in the future. So Nike on that is a fantastic partner and is extremely important to make our values and our vision happen.
It clearly shows the importance of long-term relationships and how they can facilitate changes, for example, in the branding. So it's interesting that Nike was so involved over the long period. I think another change to the kit, which is very noticeable, is Pirelli out after 26 years on the front of the shirt. I close my eyes and think of Ronaldo Nazario destroying Serie A defenses, and I see Pirelli on the front of the shirt. And Socios in. I suppose that was probably something which came about later and couldn't have been as integral to the branding conversations when they were developing. And yet, that's a modern brand now sitting with the modern branding on the new kit, isn't it?
Totally, like Pirelli is still part of Inter family, it's still inside our, is still a partner. And with them, we had a fantastic, let me say, probably the longest sponsorship in the football business. And they are friends, they're part of us, and they will always be part of us. But then, as we say, we need to project us in the future. And our jersey with Socios, Digital Beats, Lenovo represents what the consumer wants for the future. There are three technology company. And with them, they help us to give more access to the life of the club. Like Socios, for example, they give opportunities to fans to be closer to us, to take a decision on our day by day. They probably to get my job looking this way. And given the next example, like for the final of Super Cup against Juventus, Socios, basically with them, we create like 3 opportunities that people can choose. There are 3 different songs that create lots of emotion to our fans. And the fans, they have the opportunity to choose one of the 3, and then you're gonna see they're chosen on our jersey. So that is something different, if I think about the way of partnership, we are in a new era. And then I think we managed to embrace that immediately. Of course, we thank Pirelli for whatever they've done for us, and they've done a lot in the last 2 decades. But now, with those new partners, I think the new partners gonna give a different access to the club for the fans. So I think it's exciting. It's something different, something new. Once again, as you say before, we had to explain what Socios is doing and Digital Beats doing with us to our fans. But I think now the perception is extremely positive, and there are like millions of fans that take part of our polls to take a decision to become a marketeer of Inter every single day.
On-pitch success with the team's first Scudetto in a decade, Inter back at the top table in the Champions League knockout stages, this off-the-pitch, bold, agenda-pushing identity and partners who share the same values. It's an exciting time to be at Inter, isn't it?
It's a fantastic time. The last 4 years, it was like, it was very quick, very fast. The people that are working here, the teams, all my colleagues, they are extremely excited. And then, let me say, we are very proud of what we have done, because the football team has lots of opportunity, but you need to push every single day. You need to find the right things every single day, and then you need to have enthusiasm. That's the important things. We are the first fans of the club, and we want to do more emotion. We want to create more links with our fans, with our partners every single day. But let me say, then it's great because when you win, when you are there, able to, you can't win every day, but important is to be at the top all the time. It's for us the most important thing.
Well, I wish you all the best with it. Luca, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you.
And if you want to hear more episodes like this, make sure you are following this podcast in your preferred podcast platform, or check out the archives on footballco.com. All the best.